The tech meltdown started February 3rd, 2026. NASDAQ dropped 1.8%. In 2 days, software stock lost nearly $1 trillion in the market value in 7 days. Salesforce dropped, LegalZoom plunged, Indian IT took a hit, and the trigger? Anthropic launched what market called Claude Coworker, an AI that can review contracts, run sales pipeline, manage finances, all autonomously. And the market, it panicked. So here is what I wanted to understand. Why did investors look at Claude Coworker and decide that 20 years of Salesforce data infrastructure was suddenly worthless? Because this wasn't about technology, this was about market psychology. And over the past week, I have been digging into this, reading the market analysis, talking to the builders who are actually deploying AI in the production, connecting it to the research that I have been doing on how these systems actually work at scale. And I started seeing a pattern that most of the coverage today is missing. I'm Subrata Kar, and this is my Forge POV. Now let's talk about what actually happened. You see, investors valued SaaS companies like 30-year utilities, predictable revenue, stable cash flows. Then Claude Coworker drops. And overnight, the market cut their expected lifespan by 2/3. They are not worried about this quarter earnings. They are discounting the next 20 years because they think AI is a software now. And here is how dramatic it was. SaaS multiples dropped to historic lows. Investors went from, these companies will grow forever to these companies might not exist in 10 years. And the market just told Salesforce that we are valuing your next 2 decades at almost nothing. And now here is a shift that everyone is talking about. There is this concept called the Agentic Layer. So here is the idea. You don't log into Salesforce, Slack, Gmail separately anymore. You talk to one AI agent, Claude, ChatGPT, whatever, and it handles everything across all your apps. So your apps become invisible infrastructure, AI becomes your interface. The question is, if that is true, then why would anyone pay when one AI subscription does it all? And that was the panic. Stick with me, because when I connected this to what's actually happening in production, the whole picture flipped. You know what is interesting? By February 5th, the sell-off pressure across tech and high valuation stocks had dominated the market for days. And the next day, sharp reversal. The Dow surged over 1,200 points, closing at 50,000 for the first time in the history, and S&P 500 and NASDAQ climbed as buying returned. Why? Because market realized that we are just pricing 20 years of governance infrastructure at almost zero, and that was wrong. Let me tell you what I learned from Kaplan of Databricks. I asked him, why are so many enterprise projects failing today? Listen to what he said.
So basically, companies fail since they just don't know how to govern and make really actionable insights. And we were talking beforehand, you made a phrase that I love, AI theatrics. So are you actually solving a business, or are you doing AI theatrics, or are you just experimenting?
So AI theatrics, and that phrase stuck with me. Companies are building demos that look incredible, but when they try to move to production, when they try to integrate with 30 different systems, governance, compliance, version control, they collapse. An MIT study 2025 found that roughly 95% of the enterprise GenAI pilots failed to deliver measurable business impact, tens of billions spent without ROI. Not because AI isn't smart enough, because the bottleneck isn't intelligence, it is systems. Think about it. Can a law firm really replace associates with Claude's legal plugins? So I think about these questions. Who's liable if AI misses a critical clause? How do you cite it in the court filings? How does it integrate with your case management system? What's your version control when multiple lawyers work on the same contract? How do you maintain audit trails and compliance? You see, these aren't AI intelligence problems. These are enterprise integration problems. And guess who spent 20 years solving them? The incumbent. Everyone thinks they're doomed. You see, the platform can be copied in a day, but 20 years of customer data, the integration across 30 different systems, the governance frameworks, That takes decades. And here is what the proof this moat is real. Salesforce reported Agentforce is data cloud business reaching nearly $1.4 billion in annual recurring revenue up by 114%. They are not dying. They are adapting because what they have isn't just software. What they have is 20 years of customer data, enterprise integration across multiple different systems, governance framework that work in production, validation infrastructure that pure AI don't have. You see, intelligence without system, it just compute. Now, here is where this connects to something way more personal, because this isn't just about which companies survive. It is about how your work is changing. And this is where this connects to the human work. You see, the displacement is real. Sam Altman talks about universal basic income. Dario Amodei has warned about significant job transformation driven by AI capabilities. You see, they are focused on capability side. But what I'm seeing in the production is that governance and integration are just as critical to how this plays out. The conservative estimate is about 20 to 30% current roles will be displaced, especially in the early knowledge work and the roles that don't adapt to AI workflows. Entry-level contract review, AI can do that. Basic financial reporting, AI can handle it. Routine code generation, absolutely. But here is what I'm seeing in the developer data. AI-generated code frequently introduces security issues. Developers using thorough validation, they're actually slower. The validation overhead, it's the productivity. But the developers who are winning, they are not just writing code faster. They're shifting from write code to orchestrate and validate. You see, the three new capabilities are emerging. Number one, AI orchestration. It means the structuring the problems for AI to solve. Number two, validation at scale essentially means catching the problems without killing the speed. Number three, rapid domain switching. That means getting productive fast in the new territory. And here is what matters. None of these skills are tied to the years of experience. They're tied to how quickly you can adapt and collaborate with AI. And the market is already paying for this. AI skill developers earn 6 to 19% premiums. And that premium increases with seniority because the combination of experience plus the orchestration capability, that's the most valuable thing in the market. And now here is a shift that most people are missing. When Jepson told me about autonomous algorithm invention, I asked him what happens to human data scientists. And his answer was the human roles shift from builder to question asker. What question are you asking? What's the quality of those questions? How do you judge success? The activity moves to the beginning of the pipeline, from execution to orchestration, from writing code to validating systems, from building solutions to discovering problems worth solving. And if identifying those problems is what you care about, you know what you can do? You can hit subscribe, because that's what we do here. Most people listen but don't subscribe. And it actually helps me to know what resonating. All right, back to it. And yes, 20 to 30% displacement is coming, especially in the entry-level knowledge work, and the roles don't adapt to AI workflows. But here is what panic is missing. Let me show you what actually happens when companies try to replace human with AI. You remember Klarna, the Swedish fintech, cut 700 customer service jobs in 2024, saying AI will do the work. By mid-2025, they were quietly rehiring. Why? Because edge cases were breaking. Brand trust was sleeping. And the AI couldn't handle this complexity. Displacement isn't straight line. It's a V curve. Companies cut jobs, system break, they rehire, but differently. They are not hiring the same roles. They're hiring orchestrators, validators, people who can work with AI to handle what AI alone cannot. The work isn't going away. It is transforming. And here is the window. Next 12 to 18 months, companies figuring it out, the orchestration model right now, they will have massive advantage. They will know how to guide AI thinking through better prompts, catch AI mistakes without killing the speed, use AI to discover problems worth solving, and the shift, not AI replaces human, but AI changes what valuable human works looks like. So here is what I'm seeing across everything I studied. The agentic layer is the technology, orchestration is the human skill required to make this technology work. Without human orchestration who understand governance, context, validation, the agentic layer is just another cool demo that collapses when you try to move it to production. Let me say this clearly. Intelligence without system is just compute. System without intelligence, just legacy. And the winners will combine both. For companies, that means building validation infrastructure, not just buying smarter AI. Governance framework that actually work at scale. Data moats that can't be replicated overnight. And for individuals, that means developing orchestration skills, not just prompt engineering. Validation discipline that catches problems without killing the speed. And problem discovering capabilities, finding what's worth solving. You see, the old model, the human execute and AI assists, is fading. And the new model, the human orchestrate, AI executes, human validate, along with AI, is emerging. And look, the displacement is real. 20 to 30% of roles concentrated in the entry-level execution work. But alongside that displacement, the new capabilities are emerging and that amplify the human output far more than another year of experience ever could. The question isn't, will AI take my job? The question really is, am I learning to work with AI to do things that I couldn't do before? If not yet, now is the time. Look, if this reframed how you're thinking about AI transition, if the displacement is real but the shift is bigger, perspective clicked with you, then here is how you can help. Hit subscribe. We unpack this kind of patterns. Drop a comment. Are you seeing the orchestration shift in your work? What's your biggest challenge right now? I read every single one of them. Share it with somebody who needs it. A colleague worried about their job, a founder wondering if the moat is real. My next episode, Noel Russell joins me, and we're talking about how organizations are actually building responsible AI validation practices at scale. Because understanding the shift is step one. Building the systems to handle it, that's step two. I'm Subrata Kar, and this is my Forge POV. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.